Tesla software update 2024.10 just came out a couple days ago, and I've had it for a couple days now. We're going to dive into that here in just a minute. But first, if you haven't caught it already, the Cybertruck has been delayed again. In a recent video, I said I'm not going to buy the Model Y until the Tesla Cybertruck comes out because I want to get the hardware 4.0 along with the new battery and all that stuff, and that's supposed to be released with the Cybertruck, or at least 4.0 is. But now, end of 2022, mass production towards the end of 2023, I don't know. Might be back to the drawing board like I said I might do. If you're new to my channel, you know I dive in really deep into each one of these updates, trying to find every little thing that's new and not just what you see on the surface. First, we look at the release notes as well as go through and actually try out and look at all the different settings that actually have been updated. Next, we take the car out into the streets and try out all those new updates to see what is actually changed, if that makes sense to do. We then take the car down the windy road to see how it handles with the cornering and line control. We may even do the S-curve over the railroad tracks, just depends on how gutsy I feel. Now, prior to this update, I was on 2021.12.25.11, so all these updates we're talking about today are new to me, but if you have a more recent update, you already probably have a lot of these that have already been on your car, so keep that in mind with what we're talking about today. Even though I know a lot of you are going to be like, we already had that in the last update. Okay, I didn't. Now, there are a lot of changes to this update, so let's get started. Now, I will say too, as we get started here, that I did have to actually go to my car once again to get this downloaded because it just simply would not download from the app. When I got the update, I was gone camping and I told it 3 different times to actually start downloading. Once it was done counting down, it would just simply say you have an update ready. It would not actually go until I came into my car. It would not start. So if you're having that problem, just know that you're not the only one. So now we start off with Disney Plus. So let's go in to take a look at that first. So to get to Disney Plus is our newest feature. You go over here to a little up to bring up your menus. Go over here to entertainment. Then we're going to go over here to theater. And by the way, you got to be in park. So you got to press the park button there, and now you can be in park. Now we go over to theater. You can see here now we have Disney Plus. Top right corner to log in. Now keep in mind, I am not at home right now, which means that you do have to be on Wi-Fi. And with this update, you can be hotspotting from your phone to actually use this stuff as long as you're in park. But I have the data package on the car right now, so I'm going to log in with that. And there you go. You are now signed into Disney Plus inside your car. So I am sitting here right now, and I am in park. So I click on Disney, just like that. You're playing Chip and Dale. Now you can control the volume inside of this by going over to your steering wheel here and controlling it up and down, or you can tap on the screen and up top you got the volume, you got your brightness, you got your temperature can still be controlled there, and of course you can also control it inside the app. To get out of it, you tap on the screen top right, hit the X, and you're back out of it. Now I want to also point out that for those of you guys who've been following along and making comments about my cracked windshield, I actually am home long enough now to fix that, so I'm recording the whole process of getting the windshield fixed, the cost and the experience and all that, so watch for that video coming up. Okay, so next up we have something called car wash mode. Now car wash mode basically makes it so in one tap you can get the car ready to go through a car wash. And like I mentioned in the video where we're talking about this update coming about 2 weeks ago, the problem before with car wash mode was that, well, the lack of car wash mode was that you would have to remember to turn off your auto wipers. You have to make sure that your windows weren't rolled down. You have to make sure your wheels were able to be free rolled forward. But now with one tap, you'll be able to actually do that. So it says it will close all window, locks and charge port, and disables windshield wipers, center mode, walk away door locks, and parking sensor chimes. So to get to that, you're just going to go over here into settings, service, and then you can see here right there, it is car wash mode. So if you tap on it, enter car wash mode, everything is locked. You can see here it actually says off, 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 off. So it actually gives you a nice list of what's going on. If your front or trunk is actually closed at the time and all that, does it all for you. And then to get out of it, you tap over here, exit car wash mode. I personally never use a car wash. I've never used one in my life. So for me, this is not that big a deal, but I know for a lot of people this is, and it's just one more little convenience that you get to have. Now, mirror auto dimming. Here you'll be able to disable or enable automatic dimming for your mirrors. To access this, you go into the mirrors and auto mirroring. So we go into controls, click on mirrors, and then here you have auto dim. So what that means is that if a car is coming up behind you and it's super bright in your rearview mirror, and you want it to automatically dim for you so it's not blinding you, it'll not automatically dim. And if you don't want it to do that, then you can tap on that and it won't automatically dim. And so some of the reasons for not wanting to automatically dim are not going to be I'm in traffic and I don't want it to automatically dim. Let's say you're backing up somewhere and you want to have full view, full light, but you don't want your house light or something to make your car dim. You want the full bright view. You would turn that off so you can see through your mirrors clear at night like that. It's just not going to take away light out of your mirror. So basically it's something that you're going to leave on most of the time, and then you'll turn it off as needed. So the next one is called dash cam improvements. Now dash cam can now automatically save clips whenever your vehicle detects that the occurrence of a safety event such as an accident or airbag deployment recording captures are stored locally and never transmitted to Tesla, which is, I know, something that a lot of people are always nervous about, but according to this, they're not going to transmit it to Tesla. So to get to that, you're going to go into safety and security. You're going to go down here to dash cam, which is right here. Now, when you're here, you see there's 3 different options here. You have off, you have manual, or auto. And auto is what has been added. So manual allows you to basically tap the button up top that allows you to actually record manually. So you would hit accept for that. Now it's on manual. So to actually save with that, you would just tap this right here, save footage. That's manual. Okay, auto is going to now allow you to automatically save when it detects something, but you can also go up here and save footage as well. So now it's gonna, so it's the way it was before, you have the ability, but as well as now is going to save it if it detects airbag deployment or an accident. And you can also tap that to add honk. So if you do honk your horn, it's gonna save 10 minutes of footage, just as a way to kind of protect yourself. So no reason why you shouldn't have that on. You've got all this storage, you've got all these safety features, might as well use them. Now this next one I'm actually pretty excited about. I just still don't know why, like I said in the last video, but you can now just tap this up here to switch between range and percentage. Let's give it a try. Tap, tap. Oh, there you go. Okay, so you don't tap the battery, you tap the actual word, the readout here. So you can see tap, and you don't slide it, you just tap it. All right, cool. And this last one now is really great because for a lot of you guys, you use Wi-Fi from your phone and you want to, use maps, you want to use your internet while you're driving, maybe your passenger's Googling or whatever. You can now use that in your car. You can now hotspot without having to have your car in park. Before, as soon as you put it in drive, it would instantly disconnect Wi-Fi to your car. So now to do this, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here to LTE. You go into Wi-Fi settings. I'm going to go here to add network. You can see my network right here is Superman. That's the hotspot. So I tap that in there like that and it says remain connected in drive. So you would just tap that, hit connect, and then now my car is going to be connected to my phone. You can see now we're connected. I'm going to hit remain connected in drive. And now anywhere I go, I'm on Wi-Fi. See, that's now saying Wi-Fi and not my data plan. So now I'm not using data. I don't technically have to have it. So you can come in here and you can say, okay, well, let's go to the web. And so now I'm using the web and I do not have, the data plan being used. So let's just try it right now. So I'm going to put my foot on the brake, put it into drive, and you see it still stays connected on that. I'm still in drive right now, and I'm now on the web. I can go in here to Google, wherever I want to go. Now remember, when you're in drive, you cannot use entertainment features. You can play games, but you can't use entertainment features, so keep that in mind. Not all games, but a lot of games. And lastly, we have some new languages that are now supported in the car. Okay, so that's everything in the release notes. Now let's get to the actual driving and performance and see if we notice any changes there. Also, I'll just mention to be careful because when you are hotspotting from your phone, remember, you are using your phone data. You can see I'm connected to the Wi-Fi there, and so if I wanted to right now, I could turn on my satellite right there. I'm using data from my phone, so if you don't want to use it, be sure to come in and switch it off. So you just go up there like that, go to your Wi-Fi settings, and you're going to just simply turn off Wi-Fi. And so now I'm back on my data plan that I'm paying for the car. So now you're going to have to be more aware of that, where before you didn't have to be. So just keep that in mind, because you could drive for an hour and a half and just have used an hour and a half of your data without knowing it. I don't know if there's any pop-ups that are going to come or alerts saying, hey, remember, you're still streaming your data plan from your hotspot. I don't know if they're going to do something like that. So just be aware of that till we really figure out if there's any safety nets for that. Now, I want to be clear about something, because this is in the news a lot lately, that yes, I do go out and I test autopilot in a lot of crazy spots so you guys can see really what it's capable of. But you first have to accept and understand when you watch my videos that Tesla is not saying that they're supposed to be able to do the things I'm doing right now. I do not have the full self-drive beta. Okay, we're hoping to all get that here in a couple weeks, but I have just regular autopilot that all of you also have for the most part. And so when you see me do these things, I'm not saying that the Tesla should be able to, and then you should then go out and try and do this yourself. I push it to the limit so you guys can see really just where the confidence level is or where it's not. Also, I never ever test autopilot anywhere near emergency vehicles. If I see a cop on the side of the road or an accident or any kind of emergency vehicles, whether I'm on a highway, freeway, or whatever, I instantly take off autopilot, remaining full control, slow down, because our vehicles are not supposed to be able to handle that right now. You see the beta swerving away from cars and all that, but if you have regular autopilot, even full self-drive, not the beta, but full self-drive package, your car is not going to swerve away from those vehicles right now, and we got to stop pretending like they do. Anytime you're in a situation where it's not just easy driving, no cars around you on the side of the roads or whatever, use it. But when you're going to come across something that's like emergency vehicles, lights flashing, cameras going crazy, all that. Turn off autopilot and be responsible with your car. It's hurting us, it's hurting the regulation. Just stop. All right, just so to be clear, I do not in any way, I want you to use autopilot and get used to it, get confidence in it, but do it in a place where you're not endangering other people and yourself. Okay, check this out. I just figured out you can control the map using voice command. I did not know you could do that. Watch this. Zoom out the map. All right, now coming into these corners on the line test, you can see the car very much wants to stay inside the lines. And what I'm always watching for here is not so much does it touch the line or not. I mean, obviously we're watching for that, but really does it handle both directions about the same? Because the problem we have is that when it turns right, oftentimes it will touch the center lane line, which we don't want. Let me just put the speed down to the speed limit here. But when it turns left, it does that usually perfectly, unless it's a really, really sharp corner, but very seldomly do we have any issues with that. Like you can see here as it turns to the right, it's going to hug that center line, you know, a little bit more. So that did that okay. That wasn't bad. But when you hug to the left here, you can see it's going to do it perfectly. It never even comes close. So let's just fast forward here to the sharp corner at the back and just kind of watch the road lines as I'm going along here. I mean, the car does well. And keep in mind, like I already said, this car is not supposed to, at this phase, be able to handle these corners well. I mean, Tesla is very specific on the fact that autopilot is designed for highways and freeways right now, interstates. That's what it's built for. And these windy backcountry roads, the beta is good for that kind of thing, but they're not saying that these are actually ready for it. So now let's take a look at this corner as we come up on it. Now this is a blind corner, which is kind of interesting as well, but it heads right into this sharp corner here. Now this should be like done at 15 miles per hour. We have one time made this corner. Every other time it's been run over the center line. So my hands are right ready to take the wheel. And see, I have to grab it right there because I can't see around the corner and start to drive on the center yellow line. It just cuts it too soon. And so we've made it one time. 3 updates ago we made that corner 2 different times in a row to verify it. But this time I'm just not gonna let it go through with it because I can't see around the corner. So it didn't make it there. Not a knock on Tesla. Not at all saying it's a knock on Tesla. We're just simply gauging what it's capable of at the current time. Now we're on a second set of windy roads. I didn't feel like I had quite enough data off those last set of curves in the road, so we're going to try these right here. And I will just have to say, I didn't expect to have a whole lot of changes, and there really isn't any. I mean, it hasn't really been any in the last couple, to be honest. The car is pretty much handling the same way it is. I don't think we're going to really see anything new changing until we get the beta. And let's talk about that for a second. I know there's a lot of you right now listening. At the same time as you're typing in the comments, I don't care about any of this crap. I just want the beta. I know. I'm with you. I think we're all with you. Totally understand. And, you know, the reality is, let's just pause for a minute and just be glad we got something to look at for the second. I know it feels like, as we're watching this, that it's like Elon just throwing these little things at us to shut us up for a few minutes till the beta comes. But, you know, the reality is that we're going to get it at some point, and we're going to impatiently wait, is what I plan on doing. So, but from a curves, from line control standpoint, the car's handling well as it's been doing for the last probably 6 months. So we are going to go do the railroad track test. This is the dangerous part of my drive, but you know what? The bottom line is it wouldn't be a CfTesla update unless we actually saw how well it would handle this. Remember, 2 times ago I actually caught air and squeaked the tires landing. I'm hoping for not quite as an eventful one, so let's get to it. All right, we're coming up to the railroad tracks right now. I'm gonna let the car really kind of take control. I have it right at the speed limit, and what I'm always hoping for right here is that there are no cars coming. There's a lot of cars on the road today. It is Labor Day, and they're recommending 20 miles per hour right here, and I'm going 45. So, and there are lots of cars coming. So we're right here at the wheel, ready, and looks like it's not even gonna slow me down. This is how I caught air last time. Let's see how far we make it. Ah! Oh, look at that! Woohoo! Okay, we caught air again on the back tires. But it you know what though? It lined me up straight through that, even at the speed I was going. It did slow down mid, it did ask for some guidance and help, but it actually did the job. It actually got me straight through there, when the back tires caught air going over is when I grabbed control of it, as I should. So anyway, enough of this crap. All right, so that's pretty much gonna wrap this update up. Nothing crazy in terms of driving, of course, and we didn't really expect that. That's totally fine. Some fun things to look at though on the software, which is always exciting. Love getting new stuff there. My kids are gonna love Disney Plus. I like that you can now hotspot to the car. That's fantastic. I like that you can switch between miles and percentage, although I usually always keep it on percentage. But I know a lot of people like miles, and I think that what's gonna happen is a lot more people are gonna actually use the miles thing now because it's so simple and quick to get to. They're gonna kind of swap back and forth, just get an idea. The next install is going to be the yoke steering wheel. I'm pretty excited to try that because I think I'm gonna absolutely hate it. It looks like it's uncomfortable. You can't put your hand on top. It looks terrible. I don't know why people want this in the Plaid, in the Cybertruck, but I'm open to be proven wrong, which is why I was okay with them sending it to me to install it. So we're gonna be doing that here very shortly. So make sure if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below, hit the like button. Come on, help me out here, and I'll see you guys on the next video.